my friends, how are we doing tonight? We are here. We've got some professional wrestling to talk about. And just laugh along the way. I hope you're all doing well. But also, just want to announce a little thumbnail change. This one. Something's missing. So, here. Oh, we're going to talk about him, don't you worry. Now, something's missing on this one. So, here is the improvement. I like that. I really like the font. I might fix both fonts just so they match up, or I'll just leave them split. But we certainly got some fun. But this thumbnail I'm especially proud of. But hey, that's the law of the jungle. How is everybody doing though? Like, are you excited for tonight's festivities? And I think we have got a fun show ahead that we can just talk and engage with, and then make a proposition to you guys. A little choice. So here is the that's what I'm saying. Like, I would like to know. It could be a factor, I don't know. I don't know Mexican state laws. I know obviously in America if you've got a criminal record you're getting fucked off back home. Same with Australia, but I don't know if it applies over there. I don't know. I don't know what Mexico's like. I'm very excited. I thought last night was a pretty excellent show, minus the Dax Harwood. Yeah, that match didn't deliver. And I'll say this, I was a little bit disappointed by the timing of the show. I know it had 2.5 hours, but it felt kind of rushed. And I'm not saying that to drag AEW or drag this or drag a Mexico or anything like that. I'm just saying it felt like they rushed the show. Like, it seemed like it went too quick, especially the women's world title match. Yeah, which is really strange. I don't know why you would rush it. Like, I honestly don't have a clue. It doesn't make any sense to me. But it was still a good show. Yeah. For me, the best match of the night was MJF versus Mystico. But we're going to go through it, don't you worry. There's actually one match that I thought was genuinely ridiculous. And ridiculous in a negative, not a positive. But let me just quickly take one little break because I just need to have like a quick drink, so give me 2 seconds. To be fair, Zodiac, if someone locks in and actually works hard, I will praise them, even if I don't like them. I think it's crazy as well. Today is the birth of TNA. 23rd is the 23rd anniversary of TNA today. It's crazy. I remember the very first episode like it was nothing. Absolutely. I try to be as fair as I possibly can. Doesn't always work, but I do try. There we go. I'm just going to put up a nice little commemorative post. Yeah. Short and sweet, the way it should be. Thank you, Jeff Jarrett and Jerry Jarrett, for giving me that promotion. Okay, right. Let's see. You do praise them even if you don't like them. I think that's partly why I relate to you so well, because I tried to. Yeah, that's pretty much the best way to do it. It might not always stand out, but we try. I think fairness is the way to go. Before we get into tonight's show, I'm going to put a little poll in the chat, and this is about tomorrow and Saturday. So I want you to think about it before you vote. So I'm just putting it in now. Now, annoyingly, these fucking bloody... There's not much I can do in terms of the characters. You know what I mean? Like, they're too... Like, they're... In the polls, they're not big enough, options-wise. So... You get a choice, so it's in the chat. Vote now, and welcome, Jared. How are you? Welcome, sir. I hate trying to watch along a Dynamite with someone on YouTube, and they're sitting there constantly saying they hate AEW, like have nothing good to say. But that's the problem. That's the thing that annoys me. Oh, he's a fucking bellend. Oh, and here's a little fun thing for you guys. Obviously, it's directly from my Twitter, so let me zoom in. Now, naturally, Kurt Angle loves to quote my tweets, right? But look at this. No, I don't want to like it. Big Dog has had a look. Oh, it's up to 31k now, okay. You never know what's going to be happening on the Steelchair. I'm certainly going to try and make it happen. Right. Let's have a look at some news. Okay, there's one. Let me know if you can all see this. I've heard of him. I think he's a right little fucking cunt. But there's some shit that he says just doesn't make sense. I'm pretty sure I've seen this guy before. Like, and I've listened to him. If it's who I think it is, then yeah. Oi, Off the Mic Sports Network. Yeah. Women's Rumble watch along. Oh, Catherine wouldn't get along with him. Jesus Christ. You want to see his videos? I'll come back to the wrestling news in a minute, but Jared, you're gonna like it here because even though I can be very critical on here and I can be quite harsh, I'm also realistically very fair and I like the conversation with everybody, so you'll like it here. But Jesus Christ, look at this. I don't want to share his face, but I want to just look at these. Who is the best villain in the Arkham games? Killer Croc, Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, the Penguin. It's still Joker. It's Joker. I would say Joker, Scarecrow. Two-Face. Mr. Freeze, Killer Croc, Bane, Poison Ivy, in that order. Because Deathstroke didn't really get anything, so I can't really do much for him. But these jeez, I'm gonna have to go for the bigger screen, hold on. The reason I have Joker is because Joker's got the best story. I think he's got the best story in the whole game. This guy's videos are honestly fucking intense. Look, I'll even go even lower, look. I'm not even going to entertain this guy, but Jesus. Let me remove the chat from the screen for 2 seconds, hold on. Blake Monroe is already the face of NXT. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins could be transcendent. I think we've found what this guy is. 2024 is easily better than 2025 AEW. The fact they put up a post about Britt Baker is absolutely funny. AEW Grand Slam Mexico, most pointless show ever. Shut up, you dweeb. Mercedes Moné has become a cancer to has become a cancer to women's wrestling. Jesus, your fucking hairline is more of a as an insult to women's wrestling. Athena is one of AEW and Tony Khan's biggest fumbles. Yeah, sure, she's got over 900 days as Ring of Honor Women's World Champion, you fucking moron. You're a fucking hobgoblin. Hi. Let's go back to news, but whoever, thanks for bringing that to my attention, but Jesus Christ. I don't even hate on WWE accounts like that. Like, this is a joke. Nick Khan says WWE encourages their creative team and writers to not program for social media critics, but to program for the universe. It depends on what I'm going to quote. Stacy Keibler gets smacked by Jeff Hardy. People are running to that easily and they're going to go, But let's carry on with this one. So we encourage our creative team and writers, like, don't program for that program for the universe, not for a small portion of the universe who wants to criticize you. That doesn't matter. Move on. Put on a good product. The money will be there. The fans will be there. The results will be there. Lie, lie, propaganda, repeat. Lie, lie, propaganda, repeat. Don't listen to this clown. Triple H, Nick Khan says he and Triple H make mistakes in business every single day. Triple H and I make mistakes in business every day. The good thing is we have one another. We can say, hey, I think I did this. What do you think? I don't think that was the move. Maybe we can think of it the other way. Let's try that. Jesus Christ. Oh God, no. Stephanie, no. Stephanie Vacour gives thanks to the Bella twins for paving the way for the next generation of women. You two did a lot for the women's division, so for me it's important and I appreciate you. Thank you. Now we can stay here, and for me it's important to now do something for the next generation in the women's division to grow up more and more. Sorry, go up more and more. Oh dear, Stephanie Vacour, you're too good for this. According to WrestleVote's Backstage Pass, there are more than a handful of people advocating for LA Knight to be moved to Raw. To do what? Job again? 9 years ago today, they talk about the Shield, don't care. Vince McMahon from Justin Barrasso, according to, speaking of sickening, yeah, you're about to get it. According to several executives in combat sports and pro wrestling, the belief is that Vince McMahon will ultimately find himself involved in professional wrestling again. And speaking with wrestlers off the record, there's a great deal of support for McMahon, as many know that he is still held in high regard. Yeah, by sick bastards. Following CMLL's Arena Mexico show, well, Grand Slam Mexico I should say, home to CMLL, Mercedes Moné is officially the first woman to have competed at the Tokyo Dome, Wembley, Madison Square Garden, and Arena Mexico. The holy trinity before you get to Wembley Stadium, but it's the quadruple, the mecca of wrestling. We know she obviously captured that. I'm not going to play those because I'll get in trouble. Catherine's best pal requires surgery. What else have we got news-wise? Let me just have a look. We covered that the other day. 2 hours. It doesn't make a difference. Charlotte Flair has obviously insulted Chicago, saying it's the worst wrestling city in the world. I don't know, mate. Have you been to Iowa? Have you been to West Newbury, Massachusetts? Have you been to, I don't know, Mississippi? You fucking moron. Oldberg. And that's it. So that's the news. So Goldberg's returning. We've found someone who's an absolute psycho for their content. Nick Khan is glazing Triple H like the bald man that he is, and he basically says, "Don't do your don't ignore us." The internet, they're saying the internet doesn't matter. Fans are on social media. Ignore them. Okay then. So here's something for you. If you're a fan of pro wrestling and you watch WWE all over and you discuss the content on social media, how about you start heavily criticising them? Go even more, because apparently you don't matter. You're being told you don't matter. And that's coming from Nick Khan, Triple H's boss. He says that you don't matter, don't book for them. So the likes of Billy, the likes of Abu, who's not here at the moment, the likes of James, Zodiac, Glenn, Jared, our new member of the channel, Catherine, Billy, Smooth Realism, the guy, WWE's biggest. All you guys, even Ailey, Keen, you mean fuck all according to them now. So start criticising them, because I'm not fighting the good fight for everybody. I already do my part. You've been told now by Nick Khan you don't matter. How does that make you feel? And I'll just play my music. Final boss. He's still a WWE fan. Shut up. Yeah, I mean, I like to go swimming, but I'm not wearing a swimsuit for you guys. You bunch of madness. It's the next step for the weekly Steelchair. Forget toll bells. We need to... No, we don't need that. I can't remember the last SmackDown episode full that I watched. Well, you know that he does for WWE. I mean, look at the way he comes in. The guy's cool, by the way. So I like making jokes out of my out of the viewers. I take the mick out of Billy all the time. Billy dishes back though, but it's good humour. Catherine gets me the worst because she uses that bitch Dana Brooke against me, and it makes me sick. Yep, that's true. Sponsored by Pepsi Max Cherry. Gonna sit in front of me this time. The funny thing is, right, Billy doesn't particularly like AEW. Alright, but he's been to an AEW show, and he's actually quite fair with how he speaks. Now, 100%, what's wrong with Billy? He's a he's a Roman Reigns fan, but he's been criticising WWE a lot lately because WWE have been taking the piss out of him. So my respect for Billy was already high, but it goes up tenfold because he's not just sitting about anymore. But I feel like even someone like Ailey as well, who loves WWE, still hates AEW. But the way that she's been like, nah, fuck this crap, that says a lot. I'm a WWE fan. Always have been. But the more I watch, the more my eyes aren't as stuck. I can see other things and enjoy it. I feel like that's the horribleness that we're getting. It's not that you're getting praised, you're getting a right deal of respect. That's all. Just remember, before and after you talk to Roman Reigns, just remember that you wash your hands. Yeah. No, I get, that's why I love going back watching classic stuff. Except this is a new 52. You're in my universe. But what did everyone think of Grand Slam Mexico? And feel free, if you didn't watch it, that's okay. If you didn't like it, tell me why. If you thought it was 50-50, like generally some bits you did enjoy, some things you didn't enjoy. Let me hear it. I want to know what you thought in general. Stussy, what's happening, brother? Chaos. There's nothing elegant about me. I like that. That's a good way to put it. What's stopping it being at least like even an A minus? What's stopping it for you? Catherine's saying it's a 9. Because there wasn't a 9-star match. Oh, I fucking love you, Stussy. You're brilliant. Didn't watch it, but saw Sasha Banks now has every title, even the even.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh god.
Oh dear. Oh.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh god.
I gotta get the energy out. Oh fucking hell. Yeah, especially with the mask on. I like these programs. I can get the full translation for you. Right, hold on. I have an appropriate reaction for this. Let me see if I can find it. But then there's my reaction. To be fair, Karen Angle wrestling, that gives me the fear. That gives me the real fear. Cash Wheeler not being there, the little segment or pull apart after the MJF match was weak. Yeah, it was actually. But the funny thing is, the moment of the show was not broadcast. I'm just gonna slide over a bit. Sometimes Catherine really does have the fear with her comments. Oh, Billy, little update. Talks for Emmy Martinez will start in the next few days. Well, continue and progress even more in the next few days, I should say. Thank God. Right. Nice. So if you want exactly what he said, let me see if I can get the full translation for you. Yeah, well, I've just seen it, so there you go. Right, let me see if I can get Hangman's exact promo for you. There we go. So you want the full... Obviously, it's in Spanish, but here is the English translation just for you. I mean, I do speak Spanish, but it'd be a lot easier just to do it this way. Here you go, Zodiac. We are going to talk about this. I actually thought the promo was really good, and I like that he did it in Spanish. Will you feck off? Fuck off. Okay, so here we go. So he says, my name is Hangman and I want to apologize for my Spanish because it's not the best, but it's a little better than much gringos, so I will try. When I was young, my family had a tobacco farm, and every summer, like 6 men would come from Reece, Nayarit to work. Inserts all their names. Every year I worked with them, and they taught me about Mexico. They were hard workers, honest, and cared for their families. They taught me that we are all better when we work together. Bullshit. When I was young, got that part. This is what I say thank you. I want to say thank you. Thank you for having us in your house tonight. Thanks for this collaboration between AEW and CMLL. Because when we work together, we can change the world. Now I will talk about our champion, Jon Moxley. I'm sorry to say that I don't have a match tonight, and I'm not allowed to be in the arena during his match, but nobody said anything about after the match. So after all that, I will beat his ass. Maybe that's something you should do with behind closed doors. Until then, thank you to everyone here in Arena Mexico, and I'll see you soon. Now, I know for a fact Catherine's going to hate that promo, because it's Catherine. And that's okay. But I like the fact that he gave the Mexican attendance, largely dominated Mexican attendance, a great deal of respect with the Spanish promo. Oh, right, okay. I think for the sake of it, let's see. Do I put Catherine in a timeout, ladies and gentlemen? Let's see. Tomorrow, it's currently 50-50 on the poll. What do we say? I can respect him speaking Spanish. Yeah, okay, Catherine doesn't need to get timed out. Just sound like a standard gringo promo, maybe spoken a little better. I liked the presentation. I was surprised he spoke in Spanish though. And I was actually surprised it was Hangman that done it. Obviously, you had to talk about the World Championship, but I think, was he the right person? I don't know. But in the end, he was the right man. And credit where credit's due. I really did like it. I can't play the promo, obviously, on screen, but I could do something. Reece Nacho Libre Russell says something in Spanish. Buenas noches, con amigo, ¿cómo está? Soy Reece Russell. Dis nombre favorito. Nueve y 26. Mi casa, su casa. No, pardon. Just listen to myself speak, because it's always a good thing. Domingo is meanwhile. Sunday is very bad. Because it's not going to be a good Sunday. Okay, so here's the funny thing about Hangman's promo. And it's not Hangman speaking. It's Excalibur being mugged. Now, very nice, my friend. Very nice. But here's the question for you. Que el demonio. Now, Hangman's promo is seriously really good. But it's just funny that Excalibur tries to catch up with him to translate. And Hangman's like, no, I need to get out here quickly. And he just cannot keep up. And it's just really fucking funny. It's just really fucking funny. But I really did like it because, one, he's living up to his promise that he won't be there during the match and he hasn't got anything else. But he's escalating his story, which is obviously the World Championship. World Championship going into All In. Yeah, I'm thinking that's the new Jurassic Park movie. Those bastards are going to get front row seat with Scarlett Johansson. Jammy bastards. But yeah, I like they're fulfilling a story just by Hangman talking. And he's not talking the way he normally would. I think that needs to be praised. No, I don't think it's the Goonies. I think it'll be I genuinely think it'll be the Jurassic movie, because he's producing it as well. Like, thanks, Rich. I appreciate it. And if you're a United fan, look out for his too. Really good stuff. Done 2 seconds. There we go. Our first match of the evening is a 14-man tag match. 7-a-side. There isn't a striker, but plenty of midfielders. Yeah, it's currently 18 degrees for me. Can't stand it. I fucking hate the heat. I prefer it cold, dull, miserable. On either side, so we have, I'll run through the teams, obviously, make it easier. So for one side we have Atlantis and his son, Atlantis Jr. We've got Bandito, we've got Adam Cole, Daniel Wets the Bed Garcia, Brody King and Templario. They defeated Hechicero, Josh Alexander, Konosuke Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, Lance Archer, Volador Jr. and Dax Harwood. 2016. It's only because I'm only generally up north for you. That's how it's not as warm for me, but Christ. You know how I said there wasn't a particularly good match on the show? Can't believe I'm saying it, but it's this one. This one actually was poor, and it's not because it was intentional. It's that when you look of the flow of the show and etc., it is very hard to book multi-men tag matches or multi-women tag matches that are more than 5 people on either side. I don't particularly like this. Why were they standing on the floor instead of the apron during the first tag? It pretty much is a safety thing, yeah. They can only have so many people on at one time, so they'll have some people down on the mat, or the floor area, sorry, and they'll work that way. This is why I've got some concerns about if you're doing big tag matches, stick to 4 a piece or 5. I think if you go so far, it hurts a little bit. It hurts the flow of the match because nobody really got time. There were some good crowd reactions. Bandito, Hechicero, Atlantis Jr. and Atlantis got heavy boos. Despite being the babyface team, they got heavy boos because obviously Hechicero's a massive draw in CMLL. He's a crowd favourite. Despite being a heel. The nature of it, simple. The crowd were wild for Adam Cole's entrance, I agree. They reacted really well for they reacted quite well for Volador Jr. as well, and they reacted big for Josh Alexander. The biggest pop of the night came soon after this though, which was wonderful to hear. Now, my biggest problem, and I'll say this, ooh, the watch along is now winning the vote. I'm going to leave that up until the end of the show. I'm not going to look at it for the rest of the, I don't want to look at it for the rest of the show, so I'm actually going to minimize that window. So here's the thing. In fact, I'll put myself in full, I'll put on full screen. There we go. If you're going to have Atlantis Jr. and Atlantis in the same ring against Hechicero, despite being the babyfaces and Hechicero is the heel by rotation and by listing, of course, because he's part of the Don Callis family. Why did they not pivot? You know what I mean? Like, why did they not pivot? I'm gonna get a lot of laughs for this. Why not pivot? Like, let's be real, like the heels getting the cheers just for one match, just switch up. Every single guy on the babyface team can work a heel. They've all done it. So they should have just switched. Just for the one match. In Mexico, the heels got the babyface treatment. It would have been perfect. And then the end of the match, you just have a beatdown. But I think they were just a little bit short with the expectation. But yeah, the 7-man tag, well the 14-man tag, 7 aside, didn't really help. Fernando, good to see you. And the funny thing is, the match stands out for its high pace and its energy, and it is really energetic and high paced. It just doesn't fit. There's not a lot of different variables in the match that allows the talent to be exclusively used. So therefore it becomes a very big challenge to just present a good wrestling match. And I think that's where the struggle is, and it's really unfortunate in that way. I can see he says that Mercedes Hogan strikes again, but the funny thing is CMLL asked for Mercedes to hold the championship, so make of that what you will. Fernando, I do think you're right. Even though it was a really good show, it is difficult by the lots of the multi-men matches. Wasn't the best match of the night though. That's a good thing. The best matches were the singles matches. They delivered. Same here, Zodiac. Same here. Now, match of the night follows the match we're about to talk about next. But the best pop of the night is the match next. So you say overkill, but I'm going to say it's what a belt collector is. Like, no one just becomes a belt collector. The promoter has to actually make those decisions. Now, I'm not particularly bothered that she won the CMLL Women's World title. I just didn't think it was necessarily important to do it right now. If that makes sense. For me, the pop of the night goes to the heel of this next contest, which is Kazuchika Okada versus Mark Briscoe. Kazuchika Okada wrestling his first match in Mexico for the first time in 19 years. Biggest pop of the night was a decent matchup. Mark Briscoe was purely here to lose, but he was here to at least stand up for his friend who got mugged. I quite like the Taylor point from this match, and that's what it is. It's a Taylor point. It's just to get Okada in, will maintain his physical shape ahead of All In. I liked it. I don't think it was better than Mystico vs MJF, but I did like it, and it was a good pre-tail for that matchup. I actually think Mystico vs MJF should have been the main event. Like, I would have made that the main event. Oh, Okada's dropkicks are only rivaled by one person. Deonna wasn't a belt collector. Non-comparable. She wasn't a belt collector. She was champ. Get it right. If you're gonna come and use Deonna Purrazzo against me, I'll use her signature against you. She wasn't a belt collector. She did in TNA. Just saying. I'm looking forward to watching her tonight though. She's in a Pure Rules match tonight against Marty Bell. Marty Bell, I'll be watching that. Double simulcast, I'll be watching TNA and Ring of Honor at the same time. Okada wins the match with a tombstone, pile driver, and a rainmaker. Don Callis, of course, would then come in the ring. They would just beat the hell out of Mark Briscoe. He kind of got what he deserved. I'm eager to see what they do, but I think what they're going to do though, and this is something I believe in, Kenny Omega's going to be off TV for the next couple of weeks, like just so they can allow Okada and Callis to build steam as a heel alliance. I don't think anyone's going to like this suggestion. But for the next couple of weeks, I actually think Don Callis should walk away from the Don Callis family. Like, walk away from it so we can fully focus on All In with Okada. And it allows the steam of the faction to really test themselves and test the waters without him around in full. Because let's be real, Don Callis' biggest match of the summer is Omega vs Okada. There's nothing that comes close. There's nothing that would come close. Exactly. They've got to be on full jeopardy. I think he'll be off for a while, but 100% All In, you're going to see him be at full condition. I just really liked the manner of it. It was really good. It's what we want. We want some good shit. We don't want it to be mugged about. Yes, Mystico versus MJF was match of the night. 100%. It used its time perfectly. MJF had heat for looking like a ridiculous circus clown. I just have one issue with it. And everybody knows what my issue is. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. Everybody knows what my issue is about Mystico versus MJF. You can already guess in the chat what it was. Oh, I don't care that it's a DQ finish. I think the DQ finish was the perfect decision. Mystico should not be pinned or submitted in Arena Mexico by an American. Well, The Miz is still under contract with WWE, so no, it's nothing to do with that. It's what happened after them. There you go. Zodiac understands. I hate this crap. I hate, and before him says, oh, it's what you do to get heat. You don't need it. Yeah, well, I don't consider her a belt collector. I call her just a magnificent champion. What's up, Maria? Let's see. Poll in the chat. We've discussed the 10-man tag match that was just really poor. We've just discussed Okada versus Mark Briscoe. We discussed the Hangman promo. So we're up to MJF versus Mystico. For me, like, a belt collector is when they get to like 4 or 5, because then you're stacking the deck. I don't think 3 is realistically a belt collector. Yeah, she is a belt collector. Nobody's saying that. What I said was Deonna Purrazzo wasn't a belt collector when she held 3 titles. I don't consider that a belt collector. Mercedes is a belt collector. I don't have a problem with that. Hangman spoke good Spanish? Mm-hmm. He did. It feels like they don't know what to do with MJF. MJF, yeah. For a great match he had, I agree. I think they're a little bit lost with him. I don't like the fact that he's wearing similar gear to MVP. It looks too clunky. That's fine, you can think that. That's okay. I mean, I necessarily don't, but I still enjoyed that period. You know what I mean? Like, that was a fun, exciting period for her as a champion. She did great work. Every time she came out to the ring, she captured the atmosphere. She captured the attention of the audience. And she backed up in the ring. So, I'm okay with that. If you think she's a belt, that's okay. I'm starting to think MVP's last match might be MJF, and we're building to that. Ooh. Yeah, Mark has taken so many losses right now that it won't be long before he's slightly fat and looking like Eddie Kingston on Spice. Which is an insult to Mark Briscoe, but the way it's going, that's what's going to happen. What's up, Nick? Rumor has it you were unmasked as Mystico, aka Reece. I mean, if my back permits me to do moonsaults like that, then yeah. Otherwise, you're just looking at another Bret Hart, Kurt Angle mark. Now, this isn't going to sound hypocritical before anyone comes at me. I do indeed. He was meant to become a Japanese defector. Her reign of terror. I think it's funny that you're asking about a reign of terror because it's a mid-card title, as if you're getting offended by it. I think it's absolutely funny. She's been... Yep, Del Wilkes. She's been the TBS champion since Double or Nothing last year, so it's about 380, something like that. May 26th, 2024 is when she won it. Jade Cargill was champion for 508 days. Mercedes Moné's been champion for 387 days. So if you put it's 121 days left to tie Cargill. One, 2, 3, 10, 17, 24, 31, 38, 45, 52, 59, 66, 73, 80, 87, 94, 101, 108, 115, 122. If she gets up to October 18th, she will tie Jade Cargill. October 19th, she will surpass Jade Cargill. Is there any AEW events at that point? I'm just having a quick look at the schedule, see if there's anything for that period. I don't think nothing's been announced yet. But yes, so if October 18th, she'll tie the title reign. Which is fine by me, I don't care. Jade Cargill's title reign needs to be erased from history anyway. Now, said earlier on that this wasn't going to sound a little hypocritical. This is just pure passion. But the way that the Mexican fans sung Muy Muero for Mystico was unbelievable. And this is the difference between singing for a babyface, singing for a heel, and just singing in general. Muy Muero is like singing Metalingus. Muy Muero is like singing Judas. You know, it captures you. Or God forbid, singing Adrenaline, even though I don't particularly care, like Kingdom, sorry, I don't particularly care for that song. But those songs have an impact on you. Muy Muero is one of those. It gets you. It's right up there with Judas for a song impact on someone. It's brilliant. That and Metalingus. Any others? Nah. But I love the way the crowd went about it. It was generally one of the best crowd experiences that for a non-Mexican to go there live will feel. You can feel the energy around the stadium. Over 10,000 people strong made it look and sound louder than that. It sounded like 50,000 people, 80,000 for example, were like going wild. Oh, I know it's so bad. And it doesn't resonate. To be fair, I think it's funnier when they try to sing voices. Because that lot are always hearing voices. MJF would come out next, dressed in American clothing, well, ring attire designed in the American flag. Obviously, I mean, I've not got a problem with that. That's heat. That's how you draw heat in Mexico. Bryce Remsburg. He's a good referee, but is he show by show being constantly made to lose control far too quickly in matches? Because that's what I'm getting as an impression. That he is having to lose control far too quickly. But yet they'll let Aubrey Edwards maintain control. Are you guys noticing that? Like 2 minutes into a match, the referee's lost control. It's just crazy. Now, throughout the match, obviously, MJF would do the smart thing. He would try to leave the ring early. He would walk up the ring apron. Pile-driven. Mystico. Absolute top tier. I guess I need to start paying more attention to the referees besides Aubrey. Oh, she is a fucking... She's a wimp. She's a weasel. She's a cockwomble. And she loves to hit copyright strikes, the dumb bitch. For anything. She just attacks you. That's what she does. MJF, of course, would not take it lightly that Mystico would kick out of all of his best offense, so he would go for the ball shot. MJF is reenacting his inner John Cena. Goes for the ball shot, gets the win. Kidding. Mystico gets the win. Disqualification rules apply. The Hurt Syndicate get involved. They help MJF unmask Mystico. Good haircut. I have a. All I'm gonna say is, Guy, and I respect your opinion. I just want to say this, and it's actually very, very true what I'm about to say, and I'm gonna look down your comment like this. Here's the funny thing to what you've just said. So you personally think Mercedes hasn't earned the title, she's just been given championships without winning a contendership match. Okay. That's reasonable, that's fair. But see all the other belt collectors that we all respect and credit? The likes of Kurt Angle, Vader, Ultimo Dragon, Kenny Omega, Austin Aries. Neither of them won #1 contendership matches. In 2019, she had a bit of personality, and then Chris Jericho, well, scared out of her. So, yeah. Now, Catherine, we won't use that comment because, to be fair, the guy is also a proud black man too. But I'm just going to use imperial facts upon him, just for saying sake. I'm just going to use real facts. Oh, here's another belt collector that stands out. Team 3D. When they won championships in 2009, they were traveling everywhere winning championships. The Hardys, before they went back to WWE, they won tag team championships everywhere. They didn't win #1 contendership matches. Eli Drake, he didn't win #1 contendership matches. All of them have one thing in common. The bookers of the respective companies trusted those guys and put all the belts on them. They did that. You don't have to like her. That's actually not a problem. You don't have to like her. But the reality is these bookers respect her as much as those bookers respected those men that I've listed. To the point that they went, we trust you to lead our promotion. We want you to be our champion. Even if it's for a little while, we want you to hold these belts. I think you have to take that into consideration. Absolutely, Billy, I know that. See, there is what I've just done is I'm not dismissing your opinion, but I'm coming back to you with some genuine facts. That's not to tear anyone down either. That's just how it is. That's just the truth. None of them won #1 contendership matches. They were just their right time. No, he's a Charlotte Flair fan. Ugh. You should apologise, Billy, because she's awful. Interesting. Me and Maria have a different form of opinion. Okay. I would rather root for the Black Plague than, or the bubonic plague as it was called. I would rather root for the plague than Charlotte or Becky. I'm not kidding. Maria says MJF unmasking Sin Cara / Mistico was excellent. See, I personally hate the whole unmasking of luchadors. I get it's genuine heat, but it doesn't feel like they get the heat that they need. Again, obviously there are people that are gonna like that, and that's completely fine. Like, I'm not gonna say you should or shouldn't. I've never really particularly liked it. Absolutely not, Catherine. Not even close. I think Becky's put over more people since she's come back than Mercedes, so I think it's more appropriate to call Mercedes Hogan. When luchadors do it, it's fine. I'm just, like, in that way, it's just elsewhere I'm not particularly a fan of. But, yeah, Guy, I'm sorry, but you cannot say at any point that it's Mercedes Hogan when Becky Lynch was up the duff and refused to put over Shayna Baszler as WWE Women's Champion. There's an old school British phrase for you. She was up the duff. No, I'm not saying that, Maria. I'm just saying I'm just not overly a fan of it. That's all. I like other things, though. I'm just not a particular fan of that. But yeah, Becky hasn't put anyone over in a considerably long time. She didn't put her over. Don't worry, people think that what Becky's doing is elevating people when she doesn't elevate anyone. I can get pinned by it as well, but it's not putting me over. On a development brand, it's not really doing much. She's still a problem for wrestling. She should have retired. Watch her squash someone on Monday. That I'm confident of. Like, she's going to squash Bayley on Monday. I mean, if it was someone else, Glenn, then yeah, but not Becky. That would be a waste of my time. Plus, when she talks, it's like listening to a chipmunk. Becky is better than Liv. I mean, is that really a... Is that really a flex? Because to be fair, Liv Morgan has never been good. This one might shock you, Glenn. Avoid all three. The only thing Liv Morgan does well is her facial expressions. That's it. But yeah, I have Uno reversed you. I honestly would avoid all three. Now, Mystical does win by DQ. Whether it be All In or Forbidden Door, I hope we get a rematch. I really hope we get a rematch between Mystical and MJF. Maybe there's something on the lines, maybe there's an added stipulation or something at stake. But I really hope we get a rematch. A definitive rematch. Wonder what we could do with it though. Can't be a world title contendership match because then you know MJF would win that, and nobody wants MJF to be world champion again for some time. Becky hasn't had a good match in like 5 years. In fact, when was the Ronda Rousey match? Despite the ending, the unmasking would not have happened if no rematch. No, that is true. That is true. I think we're going to get the rematch though. I know you like Becky more, but Becky looks like she's talking from a script. And she hasn't had a good match in many years. Like, she's lost so many steps. Alright then. Well, that one's an easy one. So, kissing Poison Ivy, because I can die quickly. Fuck knows, he's obsessed with Becky Lynch. I can't stand her. Kissing Poison Ivy. I'm avoiding Talia al Ghul, because quite frankly, I'm avoiding Reece altogether. And marrying Harley Quinn. Does anyone want to get $400,000 richer? Sorry, 4 million pesos richer? Because I'm sure as hell not interested in this. And God forbid, this match was genuinely terrible. Black Canary is better than Quinn. Nah. Black Canary is genetically boring. I never liked Black Canary's character. I generally found Black Canary to be boring as hell. Could never take her seriously. I honestly did not like this Fatal 4-Way. Like, and it's not because neither 4 talents involved are bad. It's just they all did the same stuff. No one did anything remotely different. This felt like I was watching the same bloody person times 4. Now people might say, oh, it was great, and that's okay. I don't mind that. Like, end of the day, I like who was involved. It just felt like I was watching a repeat. Like, every single move that Ricochet would do, Masco Dorado would do the same move. And then after Dorado done it, Leo Rush. And then Hologram. You could literally be playing on the PlayStation or an Xbox if you're sad. You could be, or a PC if you rock with it. You could put this. You could put the same 4 wrestlers. Well, the same wrestler times 4 in this match, and that's exactly what you began. This match was basically Agent Smith times 4. Trust me, I already know this crap. You think I don't know this? And I'm not going to talk about it. As a singles guy, he's not bad. But the match was just... It was too difficult to book. Booking seven aside teams are tricky as hell. Very tricky. TNA's 23-year anniversary tonight, and I actually am worried that the show might not work out that well. Stormtrooper versus Stormtrooper versus Stormtrooper. Stormtrooper 2, please. Which one's that? You. That's what this felt like. It was the same thing. There was a good win by Hologram. Hologram's an exciting wrestler. And as a mass talent, it's good to see him obviously still maintain his undefeated streak since obviously he was injured beforehand, but he was still unbeaten. He comes back still unbeaten. I just don't like the nature of where it's going. The poll, haven't even ended it yet, but currently currently right now the watch along tomorrow Ring of Honor TNA review on Saturday is winning. With, doesn't say how many votes it's got, but we've had 14 votes on it though. Oh yeah, Hologram is really good. It's just the problem is this was the exact same match. I would have liked it more if they had changed up a little bit and they tried to do different things instead of doing the same diving moves, the same running knees, the same like Spanish flies, the poison ranas. It's just the same thing back to back instead of just mixing up a little bit. Now, short, sweet, questionable, slightly rushed, but history is made. Much to the chagrin of some. Your one and only championship bout of the evening is up next. It is the CMLL Women's World Championship champion Zeuxis versus the challenger, the one and only CEO of Chief Eating Out. It is Mercedes Moné. Now, here's the thing. We said it earlier on. The match is good. Oh. You people are either changing your votes or we've had some crazy last minute votes in. The TV reviews are now winning. Interesting. So, Mercedes Moné, 5 belts Moné, is in action, looking to win another belt before her big match against Timeless Tony Storm. Just under a month to go. We're in for a fight. The trouble is, this match was rushed. And I mean really, really rushed. The match was great the way it ended. I liked the counter from the top rope. It caught Zeuxis off guard. I think both women looked incredible. I think the gear they wore stood out. I think the match itself, before they started to rush the end, it was going well. Mercedes, being the veteran of this match, led the match very well. Zeuxis was protected. If you actually look at it, she was protected. And we got a big counter for the win. And the result's not the problem. The result is not the problem, ladies and gentlemen. The problem the problem here is if she wins No, I don't. I'm not sure she will. I'm still 55-45 in favor of Toni Storm. 60-40 maybe. If Toni Storm loses the belt or a championship, whatever you want to go with, I don't care. But either or is acceptable. If Toni Storm loses her championship, yeah, we'll just stick with championship. If she loses her championship July 12th at All in Arlington, Texas. What's up, Abo? She loses her champion. If she is to win that championship against Timeless Toni Storm, she's got another 6 right on her as well. How does she physically compete for all of them and relinquish in the best way? Now, I think at Rev Pro for Forbidden Door weekend, I think she will drop the Rev Pro, well, the undisputed British Women's World Championship. I think she's going to drop it to Alex Windsor, as you will know, is the fiance of Will Ospreay. Like, I'm thinking practical here. I'm not bothered that Mercedes Moné holds all these titles. I'm just bothered how she's going to be physically able to do a schedule that allows her to work each championship properly and to the best of her ability and put over the right opponent. Because eventually, I think it's going to come down to she just wants to hold the AEW Women's World title. Like, that's my perspective. It's going to come down to she only holds that belt. And I don't think she's going to hold it for a short time either. I think she's going to hold it for over a year. You look at the AEW Women's World title, for example. The current record the current record reign, Hikaru Shida. You look at Toni Storm's reigns. Her title reigns go Are you saying I'm the problem? I'm not bothered that she's got the titles. What I'm saying is when I look at her holding the titles, I'm saying eventually it's just going to come down to her just being the AEW Women's World Champion. And that's all I think she's going to be. She might end up still holding like the New Japan, like she might still go back and take the New Japan titles, but I feel like she's going to come down to just one belt. But I think she's going to smash the record from Hikaru Shida. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying essentially she needs to drop the belts. I'm looking at where her schedule comes down to it and when eventually she'll drop XYZ. She dropped the New Japan Strong title. No problem with that. I already said earlier on, she's got those belts purely because the promoters trust her. And I stand firm with that. Yeah, the Mercedes hate is forced. Vast majority of her hate is forced. I don't understand it. I don't think she's as bad as people make out. Could she be a little bit clunky in her promos? Yes. Who isn't? I'm looking at the level of it, because eventually your schedule is going to be so stacked that you have to be able to balance it. So where it comes down to it is key for me. You might see her dip in and out at times in terms of her run, where she might you might see her at times, it won't be no showing events, but she'll be like less advertised for matches and maybe more for just these eat-in segments that she's doing. And she's got the titles around her, like on a separate table beside her, which is actually really cool. But there's a way that goes about it. And that's what I'm saying. Because I look at all the other ones before them as well, where they all had multiple titles at once and they dropped them. They all had their strategic points and it fit. So Mercedes Moné is going to be the same. She's going to hold titles and she's going to drop them here, here, and here. I'm just thinking where, when, and who realistically is the best one. Like, for example, so I mentioned the British, like the Undisputed British Women's Championship, which is for Rev Pro. I think she drops it to Alex Windsor. Forbidden Door Weekend. If she does, brilliant. If she doesn't, no problem. The TBS title. Julia Hart, maybe. Wouldn't surprise me. Like, maybe Statlander Willow might get a win back. The CMLL Women's World Champion. Zuxis might claim it back. Persephone might win it. That title that she won, the independent title that she went over randomly and won it. I don't know a lot about that promotion, so I'm not even going to suggest that. Maybe it's the former champion. I don't know. But that's what I'm seeing, you know? So I'm not bothered. I'd look at the practicality of the reign. And so far, none of her reigns have been bad. They're practical. And that's a good thing. So let's look at, so for example, the length of reigns. So Toni Storm, 76 days for her first reign. 66 days for her second reign. Her longest was her third reign at 281. And she's currently on 123. She's got the third longest reign, like from a single reign, she's got the third longest behind Britt Baker and Shida. But I honestly think Mercedes Moné will be the longest reigning AEW Women's World Champion. And I want her to do it just to make people suffer. Like, I actually hope she does it just to make people suffer. Just like when Deonna wins the Women's Pure Championship, I hope she holds it the longest as well, just to put people in suffering on that. And that's the end of it. At the moment, I'm still favouring Tony Storm Abel, but I think we'll see how it goes in the next couple of months. We might end up seeing that change hands. Tell me, do you watch professional wrestling? I really like the appearance of Tony Storm as well. So you're using recently to try and echo a statement. Okay. Tony Storm just makes this. It's just really, really well done. I really like it. That attack as well, and the multiple belts getting knocked to the ground after the German suplexes is really good. It's just annoying that that bitch Aubrey Edwards ruins the segment by her face and her giant, well, Triple H size beak. Oh no, still really good. Okay, main event time. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay. Someone get a sniper rifle. The Death Riders. The Young Bucks. And Beast Mortos versus the Ops, Swerve Strickland and Black Eye Will Ospreay. Now, thankfully, this match is better than the multi-man match that happened earlier in the show. Much better. Too bad, however, that it seemed like we missed something. This show missed. This would have been good to have another title match. Like, the World Championship of CMLL would have been perfect to be presented here in the right fashion. But we get the multi-man tag. And despite the amount of numbers in this match, this match was so much better, and I'm glad for it, and the right team won. if the Ops, Swerve, and Osprey had won this, then it makes the post-match segment worthless. The right result, good quality of match, everyone gets proper time to compete, unlike the previous multi-man. Beast Mortos getting his first match in years in Arena Mexico was a great sight to see. And better yet, the crowd were more involved in this than the other one. Like, they were actually more engaged. They were more focused. They were more eager to see a result. Like, the crowd were basically dictating the tempo of the match by their involvement, which is brilliant. I think he might, but I don't know, to an extent. He should already have been getting a push anyway. He is good enough. Like, he is really good, Beast Mortos. He's not your atypical luchador either. That's what I like about him. He's a very different one. Like, his size, his speed, and his power alone is just insane for a big guy. Now, the match ends with the old-fashioned roll-up, which is cool for me. Hangman would come down the stage. He would protect Swerve. And thank God for the buckshot hitting Matt Jackson. We are getting ready for All In. All In is less than a month away, but they are putting every little bit of effort they can into their main programs. And if you don't think they are, then you're not seeing it. They are putting everything they can into growing those programs, and they're doing it across multiple areas, multiple venues, to stem so much interest. And that's how you should do it. The Bucks right now are owning Swerve Strickland. We'll see how that unfolds. Obviously the biggest pop of this entire tag match is Will Ospreay's entrance. The crowd were wild for this. In case you're wondering why Claudio Castagnoli couldn't compete, he did have travel issues, which did obviously stop him from getting involved. Powerhouse Hobbs was a standout as well. Took 5 men to knock him down, which was absolutely funny. And the biggest heat magnet in this match was the world champion, and rightly so. He was getting hate like hate should have been. We were treated to a good show, and an exciting show. A show that's worth watching, a show that, yes, there's some moments that may not be your cup of tea. But they took it seriously. Robert, that's a very accurate statement, sir. MJF is a dead man walking. Speaking of dead man walking. I suppose you could say you can definitely think that he is that level. I can get some strong reference for you. How dead are we talking? Because if I'm going to that level, I'm going this far. I'm going very far to Dead Man Walking.
Dead man walking. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Keep rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Keep rolling, 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 rolling.
I'm going Death's Door. And I'm asking Death for a favor. Well, that song obviously is one of my favorite songs because it's one of my favorite bands of all time, but it's still Dark Side version 3. And the poll is now up to 50-50. 10 votes each from 20 votes. I wonder what's going to win this poll. You can certainly organise one in, I would say, New York, but to be fair, does anyone really want to organise anything in New York? I don't. Well, the rules remain the same. It's most votes win. If there's a tie, we'll just do the usual routine. You guys can still technically change your vote between now and then. Fun song. There you go, Glenn. Always. %100. 100%, but it looks like might just be usual routine tomorrow. If so, I'm alright with that, unless you guys change it at the last minute and change your votes. That's up to you guys. 345 subscribers now, fucking hell. I honestly do not know what to say. I really don't. Obviously, thank you, but you know what I mean. Becky Hogan. Too fun. Too fun. Wow. Okay then. Catherine, you already know the answer, I'm just not giving you it. What's up, Lark Bark? I'll show you the card, Catherine. I'm not impressed with the mystery partner, put it that way, and I'm not saying who it was. Taker versus Bret Hart, SummerSlam 97 is a top two WWE match of all time, and it's the second best match in WWE of 1997. Like, it's a top two, if not a top three, besides Rock and Austin at Mania 17. Like, that for me is my holy trinity. It's Austin Bret, Taker versus Hart, SummerSlam 97, Rock versus Austin in Mania 17. Oh yeah. 100%. Bulldog versus Bret's the best SummerSlam match though. I always watch Taker versus Hart SummerSlam. The Royal Rumble match is just as good. There you go, Catherine. That's the card. If there's one thing TNA need to stop doing, it's mystery partners. Mystery partners in TNA is like going for a shit. It never delivers. It just needs to be done. Venom wants to see it as well. Ring of Honor tonight. I'll show you their show. Oh, it is. The Royal Rumble matches haven't been good for a long time. All I'm gonna say is, see after this match, Wait till you see what happens. Wait, hang on. Is that the right year? Yeah. Wait till you see what happens after this. I told you the best AEW moment from Grand Slam Mexico was after the show. It happens during this. This is obviously going to be amazing. Because the GOAT. But trust me, watch and see. Over to you guys. Favorite casket match of all? I know it's a bit unfortunate because there's an injury, but I'm still going to say Michaels versus Taker at the Royal Rumble 98. Yeah, that match is actually quite good. They just kick the casket to pieces, which is just funny. I would have to say, yeah, for me it's Taker versus HBK, and then it's Taker versus Yokozuna the second time. It's Survivor Series 1994. That's a really good match. Taker versus the Ortons. That's a shitty casket match. Did you ever like Charlotte? Nope. I've already had that question before on here and answered it. Nope, never. Never liked her, never rated her. Didn't see anything remotely interesting about her. She didn't bring anything to the dance, and I just couldn't be bothered. So, no. Yeah, her story is interesting. Too bad she's not interesting. Did you like the tag team of high energy with Owen Hart and Coco Beware? We know where Coco is. I actually did like their tag team, and it was a good way for Owen to get his chance in WWE. It was a really good opportunity for him. They were a fun team, colorful, exciting. Dynamic in the ring was nailed on point. They didn't miss a step. It was really good. Most underrated event of WCW when Bischoff was the boss. Uncensored 1997. And Great American Bash 97. Slamboree 98 is a good one. And Super Brawl 8. Everything else is perfectly rated or overrated. Most underrated Vince Russo pay-per-view. No Surrender 2007 is the only good pay-per-view he's ever properly produced that was good, in my opinion. That's also underrated. What did you think of Sting vs Hollywood Hogan's Starrcade 97 slow count finish with Bret Hart? For one, it insulted Bret Hart. Two, insulted the WCW audience. Three, it ruined Sting's character, even though Sting was so over. And four, it showed that Hogan is the biggest asshole since Vince McMahon. Like, it was horrible. And it shows that Eric Bischoff is a giant pussy. That man's got no dick between his legs. Huge pussy. He should have went, no, Hogan, you're getting pinned clean the way it was supposed to be. Hogan was meant to put Sting over, and he just like, that ain't working for me, brother. He doesn't have a tent, brother. Well, Sting's a better wrestler than you fucking dick. Better wrestler, better character, better promo, better like all-round gimmick. Generally, like everything Hogan thought he was good at, Sting did better. Why is Tony being an asshole about Athena being on AEW television? All In is coming. There's no sign of her. She stated she wants to be All In. What is Tony doing? I'm getting pissed off. I mean, she is the Ring of Honor World Champion. That's more or less that. Why is she not on AEW more? I don't know. I've advocated for her to be on AEW television more. I hope she's at All In. I think she's going to be at Supercard of Honor. But in terms of All In, I honestly don't know. I actually do not know. I hope she's at All In. If she's not on the All In card, then I really will be pissed myself. Like, I want her to be on the All In card. If she's not, then it's an idiotic decision. She deserves to be on that card. Vince Russo said that Big Show, or the Big Slow, flip-flop from heel to babyface in WWE. How would you have booked the Big Show? I would have had him lose to The Rock clean every night. No, I'm only kidding. If I'm booking the Big Show, one, I'm never making him a babyface. I'm booking him like Andre the Giant, where he was just a big, giant individual. I'm never making him WWE or World Heavyweight or ECW champion. This might sound cruel to all you Big Slow fans, but for me, it's just he is not winning a championship unless it's a tag team title. I am not making him world champion. He's a heel, giant, destroying babyface, and the eventual babyface overcomes the giant. That's it. I am never, and I'm not giving him those stupid WrestleMania matches like Akebono and Floyd Mayweather, Hardcore champion, yeah, sure, that's okay. I'm not making him Intercontinental champion. US champion, I'm okay with that. But I'm not making him world champion. If that offends people, I don't care. But that's it. Big Show was not a star. Big Show was not a big draw in any shape or form. And I'm not making, I'll tell you for one thing, I'm grabbing him by the ear and I'm telling him, if I see you doing a drop kick, you're fired. If I see you dressing up like Rikishi, you're fired. Exactly, that's all I needed, Zodiac. Don't forget Hogan botched the pinfall he took from Warrior at Mania 6. He lifted his shoulder right after the count of 3. That is correct. You know who didn't do that, but made it look special? Mick Foley in Hell in a Cell. His first Hell in a Cell match. He tried to show a little bit of kick out to the tombstone, but he showed so much respect to Taker's finish. Hogan, on the other hand, nah. But hey ho, Mick Foley's eating all them cheeseburgers whilst Hogan's in the gym. Fraud. Honestly, you would think I hate Hogan. I massively, unequivocally hate Hulk Hogan. I hate Hulk Hogan. And I hate the way that he stole titles from Macho Man Randy Savage. And I hate what he did to Sting. And I hate how he treated Bret Hart. Fucking hate Hogan. Fuck the Hulk Hogan. Still got another 33 minutes left of this poll, and I think we've seen what's winning. Wouldn't surprise me. That's because you could corrupt him. If you're talking about Vince Russo liking Big Show, we're not saying he didn't like him. Read the comment again before you assume. Big Show did more flops between babyface and heel than Taker won world championships. Hogan purely got into Big Show's ear and just ruined the guy. Horrible, horrible guy. Pro wrestling would be a whole lot better if Hogan and fucking Big Slow never happened. I don't care. What else have you got for me, guys? What other questions have you got? Big Show doing a drop kick was amazing. Why are you against that? When you look at Big Show doing it, it's not that I hate that he's doing it. It's the manner behind it. It looks clunky. And it looked clunky. I was more offended by Big Show doing a bloody kip up than a drop kick, but the drop kick just didn't suit me at all for him. Vader doing the moonsault captures attention. When the Big Slow did that, it didn't work. Don't compare him to Andre. Andre was unique. Like, he was on a unique platform for what he did. Unrelated, but did you not like when Rick the Model Martel did the Boston Crab? I didn't mind Rick Martel with the Boston Crab. It looked perfect for him. Past or present, 4 wrestlers you would book for a tag team championship match to headline your pay-per-view. Alright. Bret Hart and Kurt Angle. Bret Hart and Kurt Angle versus Kenny Omega and AJ Styles. But if you want just tag teams, Hart Foundation versus Motor City Machine Guns. Big Show was a better wrestler when Andre was in WWE. Up until 1988, maybe, but for about 8 years or so, Andre was a far better wrestler in WWE than Big Show ever was. And Andre has far more recognizable matches and moments than Big Show in WWE as well. Top 5 high flyers of all time: Jushin Thunder Liger, Ultimo Dragon, Rey Mysterio, Billy Kidman, in fact, no, Billy Kidman was different. Eddie Guerrero and yeah, I'll say yeah, Jeff Hardy. The likes of AJ Styles, Kenny Omega. I think of them in different ways. I think of them as all-round wrestlers. That's why I don't do it. Who is better, Matt or Jeff? Jeff. Matt was better until about 2007. And then it's been Jeff ever since. Rey Mysterio, Jeff Hardy, Jushin Thunder Liger, Will Ospreay, Eddie Guerrero. They're great 5. I think Will Ospreay's in the next category of the next who's going to be there, but I think to put him in it too soon, I think maybe. But he is brilliant. I quite like high flyers, but it's not really my favourite style of wrestler. I prefer more like an all-round technical wrestler that can also do high-flying moves. How would you have booked Mark Henry? Would he have been WWE Champion for longer? I would have made Mark Henry World Champion in 2006. I would have had him World Champion after WrestleMania 22. I would have had him win the world title from Rey Mysterio, and I would have kept him champion. So Great American Bash. Forget King of the Ring. I don't care. I just would have had him win the world title. He would have been my world champion in 2006 after Kurt Angle drops the belt to Mysterio. Mark Henry wins it, and I would have had him go all the way up to the Royal Rumble, loses to Batista. Taker still wins the Rumble. We still get Batista versus Taker for the championship. Mark Henry or Prime Vader. I love Mark Henry, but Prime Vader. Mark Henry was he's underrated. Mark Henry deserves a lot more respect in terms of his in-ring work. But Prime Vader was one of the best ever. Only beaten by a select few for size-wise, for big men. And Mark Henry, honestly, could have been so much better. Did you like Charlotte versus Sasha? Not really. Like, they set records in terms of like what they did as firsts, which I appreciate, but did I like it? No. Not really. Watching Charlotte Flair is like doing the dishes. It's a chore. And it's not exciting. And before the record, I'm not saying I like go and do the dishes. I do the dishes in my house. What I'm saying is it's like a typical chore that comes to mind. I prefer to just not watch Charlotte in general. And on mute as well. Nothing to do, I just don't like her. Better match, Taker versus Triple H in Mania 17. End of an era with Michaels as special. I actually prefer the Mania 17 match. I actually think End of an Era is only about that one moment at the very end, standing on the stage. Whereas Taker vs Triple H is the first time those two wrestled one-on-one on pay-per-view. And it actually delivered. I'm not a big fan particularly of Triple H, but I actually liked his match with Taker at this one. Both of them done it really well. He was forcing it. He forced Vince to do it. The Click practically made Vince do it whether he wanted. If you want to win the Grand Slam, you do it authentically. What they did to British Bulldog was disgusting. Yeah, like if Michaels is going to win the Triple Crown, don't do it in front of a dying woman of cancer. Michaels might be one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, but he's one of the biggest cunts in the wrestling business. Like, he, if not the biggest, besides Hogan and Vince. Hogan, Vince, Triple H, Michaels are the four, and New Jack. They're the top 5 biggest cunts in wrestling ever. Bischoff, Russo, they're just below that. Ric Flair as well. Yeah, like if you're gonna win the Triple Crown, don't do it in front of someone like that. It's cruel, especially after Bulldog was told he was going to win at one night only, and they did that just to humiliate him in front of his sister. That was just it's disgusting. Mm-hmm. Do the do like the event after. Oh, sorry, actually no. Like do it just after, um, like do it on a Monday Night Raw before Bad Blood. I wouldn't have bothered about that. I just hated the way they went about it. I don't know if it was soon after the event. I'm not sure. There we go. Let's see. So, so it was in 1999. So, 2 years after the one night only event, he lost. Within 3 months of each other. His sister was 26. He lost his mother all within 3 months of each other in 99, which is obviously round about the period where he broke his back. So 99. The way he broke his back as well was unacceptable. Oh, God almighty. Please tell me it's not removed. Oh, fuck's sake. Ugh. we on? Right, we're on 17. No, not 1 hour. God almighty, that would have been embarrassing. I'll put it back to 17, it's okay. If you were an up-and-coming wrestler, would you go TNA or AEW? I would go TNA first, then I would go AEW. Like, I would go and live out the enjoyments of the fan with TNA. Couple of years, enjoy it, and then I would go AEW. I would want to force either or to see what they're getting. What would be your main 2 submission moves plus 1 submission finisher? Ankle lock, dragon sleeper, sharpshooter is the finish. Name wise, I don't know, but I would use a sharpshooter and I would use the sharpshooter 100%, and I would use the butterfly pile driver. Name wise, I don't know. I don't know. I might even just, I would have, to be honest, I'm one of those, I'd probably just wrestle under my own name. Nope, I did not. The tarantula was a good move, but I feel like it should only be to somebody who does it really cool, like Tajiri or Daphne or Thekla. I think with me with the tarantula, it just wouldn't look right. The Ring of Deathlock? No, I don't know. To be honest, I would just wrestle under my own name. I would probably just ask Bret Hart permission to use the Hitman moniker, because that's what I would go for. Oh wait, hold on. What's this? I'm just trying to find this. Hold on. Oh, this is just... There was an article that came about, like, fucking... The article about Goldberg, and it said backstage fight, but it turns out it was just him getting embarrassed by Chris Jericho. No, I'm not saying I would be a Hitman ripoff. I would just ask him for the moniker. Ronda and Charlotte was great. Meh. Who is the best Canadian wrestler not from the Hart family? Kenny Omega. Would you object to a love interest storyline with Bayley? Yes, I would. The Mountie was brilliant. Jericho and Omega is probably those two, and then after that, Redacted. Kevin Owens, yeah. Roddy Piper. The Mountie was underrated. The Mountie, people should go back and watch him. Sami Zayn, however, nah. Are you going to see 28 years later? I'll probably wait for it to come out and watch it on something else, but might go see it. I don't know yet. I'm not sure yet. I'm looking forward to it though. I think, to be honest, if you're putting the two best Canadian wrestlers that's not Hart family, I'm realistically saying it's Jericho and Omega. They're the top two. Trish Stratus for a woman, yeah, but she's not better than either of the men that I've said. I prefer technical wrestling, but I think Kenny Omega was just a better wrestler than Benoit. But Benoit was excellent. Benoit's not in my top 5 technical wrestlers. But he was a great technician. And I'm not giving you that top 5 either. That is for me and me alone. Mount Rushmore of Bond movies. George St. Pierre would be quality in WWE or AEW if he actually went there. He's my favourite UFC fighter of all time. Mount Rushmore of 007 movies. License to Kill, Goldfinger, No Time to Die, Casino Royale. Most evil Canadian wrestler of all time. Pat Patterson. For what he did to those people. Chris Jericho is just the best. He's just the best Canadian heel. What list are you not getting in my top 5 top 5 wrestling technicians? Because we'll be here all day for me to explain why each person gets in and why people are not on it. But Pat Patterson is pure evil. The man had a great idea for match finishes, though, I'll grant him that. But he was pure evil. Jericho is just the best Canadian heel. I would say alongside Roddy when Roddy was a heel. What's the difference between the Dragon Sleeper and the $1 Million Dream? Well, for one, it's the way you lock the arm in. And the Dragon Sleeper is obviously, like, picture that, but then your head's back. You're wrapping the arm round and then yanking it back on the underarm. Whereas the $1 Million Dream is like an inverted sleeper hold. Top 5 Mania stages: WrestleMania 17, WrestleMania 10, WrestleMania 14, WrestleMania 20, WrestleMania 25. Top 5 matches that should have happened but did not: Bret Hart versus Kurt Angle, Kenny Omega versus Kurt Angle, Crow Sting versus Ministry of Darkness Undertaker, AJ Styles versus Shawn Michaels, Undertaker versus Abyss. Maybe Hogan versus Austin. Austin Brock is another one, to be fair. Yeah, Orton and Styles have wrestled each other. Remember, Randy Orton eliminated AJ Styles from the Elimination Chamber when he was WWE champion, when he was trying to get his WWE title back. They have had a singles match as well. Top 5 Samoan wrestlers. The Rock. Haku. Jacob Fatu. The Sultan, no. Because that's Rikishi. I'm not giving him that. The High Chief, Peter Maivia. And Sika. Do you have any favourite Charlotte match? No. Top 5 Mania celebrities: Cyndi Lauper, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson. Just from what he did for Mania 14. Kid Inc. And the guy who, yeah, Pete Rose. Yeah. I was trying to remember his first name. Top 5 Doink the Clown matches. I only like one. And that was the match against Crush at Mania 9 because it was just pure funny. Top 5 Rumble eliminations. Paul London at the hands of Snitsky. Santino Marella's 1 second elimination. Diesel with a super kick from Shawn Michaels. Psycho Sid eliminating Hulk Hogan. And the Hurricane 2002. The funniest elimination, obviously. Shout out to Maven from the same Rumble. Yeah, that was a vicious feud. Top 5 Outsiders matches. Harlem Heat. Their first and second matches versus the Steiners. When Scott Hall turns on Nash. And Bash at the Beach 96. As teams, obviously. Your favourite final 2 from the Rumble. Yeah, HBK Michaels 07. Rock Austin 98. Austin Kane 01. And Taker Lesnar in 03. Best Rumble finish. It's 07. 07. But I would also say 97 as well. 97's finish was quality. Top 5 Harlem Heat matches. This might shock you, but every match they had with Outsiders and the Steiners, that's their best matches. Top 5 Rumble surprise entrance. Edge 2020, 100%. Roddy Piper in 08. Honky Tonk Man in 2001 was hilarious. Mil Mascaras in 97. And because nobody saw it coming, AJ Styles. And then the last two is Mick Foley doing the triple run in 98 because he did 3 gimmicks. So he goes to Mankind and Dude Love after Cactus Jack, so it's Mick Foley twice. But Mick Foley in 04 as well. The best finish is only 04 because you're biased to Benoit. But it's not the best finish. Top 5 G1 matches and winners. Well, the best winner obviously is Okada. Then Naito. Then Ibushi. Tanahashi. Then Omega. Best top G1 matches, however. So Naito versus Naito versus Ospreay. Naito versus... That's because of who's in the match. That's why you're heavily biased. It's not that good a finish. I don't think the 04 Rumble is actually that good. I think it's one of the worst. So Ibushi versus Naito. Omega versus Naito. Let me stop that. Hold on. I honestly didn't like it. I thought the 04 Rumble could have been a lot better, but they let themselves down. So yeah, Naito versus Ibushi, Naito versus Omega, Okada versus Carl Anderson, Naito versus Ospreay, and Omega versus Tanahashi. There is, but the problem for me though, and this is my problem, Angle HBK was 2005, not 2004. Angle in 2004, he was, well, otherwise detained. But for me, the problem with that is they tried so much to overfill it rather than fulfill it. That's the issue I've got with the 04 Rumble. There's more about filling than fulfilling. Top 5 catchphrases. Mick Foley, Randy Orton was excellent. If you smell what the Rock is cooking, I am the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Quite frankly, because it's overused, but it's fact. Woo. Having Austin 316 says, I just whooped your ass. And bang bang. They're all catchphrases. And with that, let's end that poll. So tomorrow is same routine. So reviews tomorrow and watch alongs on Saturday. That's fine. But with that, we are at 3 hours 1 minute. And I'm saying thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye guys.